Hey everybody, Crow back again, and as you can tell from the title and or thumbnail of this video, I just got an OLED Steam Deck. It's still in the box. I haven't opened it yet. I actually got it a couple days ago. This whole thing is going to be in two parts. This first video here is going to be me basically showing the Steam Deck, opening it up, and the accessories that I bought for it. And then after I've had some time to do the modifications that I want to do with it and mess around with it for a bit, I'll put out a second part, my impressions of the device. And that might be, it could be a week, it could be a month, I don't really know. Now, I initially wasn't interested in the Steam Deck for a couple reasons. And the first is that I was thinking, well, if I'm going to play a PC game, I'm going to want to play it on my PC and not, a smaller handheld device. And the other was that a lot of other stuff that Valve has put out that was Steam related, hardware-wise, has kind of fallen by the wayside. They had those Steam Link devices, those are all gone. They had that Steam controller, that has vanished. But there seems to be like this overwhelming support, and people that have the Steam Deck really, really like it. Two people in particular, Pete, the Ever Canadian, and Ed. It used to be Retro Kill-9. Now his channel is the Evercade Effect, which I do podcasts with every week. For the Evercade, they really, really like the Steam Deck. And when they came out with the OLED version, I was like, oh, that really kind of piqued my interest even more. And the more I looked into it, the more I saw these improvements that were made over it, all these things that you can do with the Steam Deck that I didn't really know that you could do, like how easy it was to put emulators and stuff on this thing. So I know that, and plus, on top of that, I've got nearly 1,000 games on Steam. I've been playing really games just on Steam for a while. Like, it's been a long time since I turned on my Switch. My PS4 and my Xbox One I've packed up and I've put into Tupperware containers along with the older stuff. Really, right now, the only devices I'm playing on are Steam and the Evercade. But how can I not buy a device, a handheld device, where I've already got potentially almost 1,000 games I could play on it? Now, I know that the Steam Deck isn't really going to be able to play every single game, but it just seems like with the customizations you can do, something that may not initially be able to play on this thing, maybe in the future. A couple weeks ago, it was almost time for the Steam Summer Sale, and even though I kind of had a feeling the OLED versions would not go on sale, I decided to wait just in case. And sure enough, the sale came up and it was just the older LCD models that went on sale for 15% off. So I was like, okay. So my two options were the $549 version and the $649 version. The only differences between the two were that the more expensive version had a 1 terabyte SSD instead of a 512 gigabyte SSD. And the whole etch glass thing with the anti-glare reflecting thing on it. I was initially going to go with that, but then I thought, you know what? I'm going to want to put a bigger SSD in there because you could get a 2 terabyte that's compatible with the Steam Deck for about $150 these days. And the price difference between the two is $100. So I'd pay an extra $50 and actually get double the storage. Yeah, this is the, let's see here, what we got here. I think it's really cool that they included a case with this as well. But before we get into opening this stuff up, I'm just going to kind of show some of the accessories that I bought ahead of time. The one thing I knew about this power supply, and I guess I'm going to open this up first just to show, because I did watch like several dozen videos on the Steam Deck. I knew that the power supply is that it is attached to the, I guess the adapter itself. I mean, it is a USB-C at the end here. Let's see if I can get that part out. Here we go. But if you wanted a longer cable, you can't just buy the cable. I do know that it needs at least a 45 watt charger. So what I wound up buying was, this happened to be on sale on Amazon, was this Ugreen Nexode. I've seen this pop up from time to time. There's two different versions of it. I think there was like a 25 or 35 watt version, and this is a 65 watt version. Normally this sells on Amazon for $49.99, almost $50. But when I was looking, it happened to be on sale for $35. And I was always interested in this thing just because it's got this LED screen that's got a face. Maybe I'll put an insert of it plugged in or something, and you can see the face on it. It's plugged in, but it's got these little feet on here, and you pull the feet off, and it's got the plug. The only thing I don't like about this is when you pull the feet off to plug it in, there's no place to attach the feet on this thing. That would have been nice if I could put it on the back. That way, keep it together. One of the very first things I want to do with this thing is I'm going to swap out the SSD, and I got a 2 terabyte SSD, which I'm immediately going to put into there. And I'm not going to do that much with it in this video. I might turn it on just to see what it's like to turn it on, make sure it works, and kind of see the button placements. Because the button placements always seemed a little bit weird to me, but nobody seems to complain about it. It just seems unusual. But anyway, yeah, I did get this off of Amazon. This is the Addlink. Even if you get the fastest one, the Steam Deck is only capable of reading at a certain speed. So almost any one of these M.2 2230 solid-state drives will work. And I got this one for about $149. Yeah, because I figured $150. I mean, you get ones that are more expensive, 2 terabytes, easily up to $200. But I don't think you're going to gain much more performance for a bigger brand name like a Samsung or Western Digital or Seagate or something like that. So almost, and plus, I think this had like either like a 4.7 or 4.8 reading on Amazon. But speaking of storage, this does have a micro SD slot in it. So I did wind up getting a micro SD card as well. So I got this from Micro Center, actually went to Micro Center, and I bought a Micro Center branded micro SD card. This is a 1 terabyte. So my plan is all the Steam stuff itself I'd install on this, and any emulator stuff I'd install on the SD card, just to keep them separate. Now the final group of stuff that I bought for this thing, all from DBrand, because, well, one, I had to get this. This is the numero uno thing I needed to get, and this is a screen protector, and I prefer the kind of glass screen protectors because they are very rigid. They go on, and you don't ever really have any issues with bubbling or anything because they are so stiff. You just have to make sure the screen is ultra clean, and as long as you do it like almost immediately after you open this thing up, you're not going to have any issues. By the way, this was $19.99, I think. $19.99, $19.95, somewhere around that. Well, the other reason I bought this off of DBrand was because one of the other things I like, and what I was seeing a lot in the videos I was watching, is everybody had their kind of own DBrand skin on it. So I did buy a DBrand skin here. This is, I mean, it looks kind of black in the video, but this is the something dark version. I wanted something that had some detail on it, but was very subtle. You can kind of see here. This would be the back version. This is the front. This was about $49.95, I think. But it's funny is every time I get a device and DBrand has a skin for it, I always go and get that skin. For the PS4, I had a wood grain skin. Unfortunately, DBrand doesn't have wood grain skins anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I would have done a wood grain skin on this one. I was thinking I would have done the skin that was like, that kind of just showed the Eternals. I have that one on my phone, and I would show it, but I'm using my phone to film, so you can't see it. But I liked it, but I think it was like too busy for this. And plus on my phone, it's on the back of my phone. I'm not seeing it when I'm looking at my phone. This would be something I'd see while I'm playing on the Steam Deck and stuff. I didn't want anything too colorful or outlandish. And the nice thing is, like, you could always just peel these off and put on a new skin if you want. One last thing I did buy from DBrand were these nubs here. I think this was like $9.95. So these are these attached to the thumbsticks to give you more grip. There's two sets in here, one for the LCD and one for the OLED. The bottom ones are the OLED. I don't really know. I think there's really no issues with the OLED version of the thumbsticks, but you know, extra grip couldn't hurt. So I usually like on the Switch especially, these kind of things are way better to use with the Switch Joy-Cons because they make it way easier to grip and your thumb doesn't really slip off them. And that's pretty much everything that I've purchased so far for the Steam Deck. What I have not bought, and I'm not sure if I want to buy, is like a like armor protection. I think on a lot of people are using DBrand's kill switch for this. I don't know if I want to make the thing more bulkier, and I'm not really worried about damaging it, especially since I'm putting a skin over it and I'm going to have a screen protector on top of it. Usually that's enough for me. There are docks I can buy. I know Valve has their own dock for the Steam Deck. That one is pretty expensive, around $80. And I know I could get other docks on Amazon for about $40, but I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to have it docked up to my television that very often. So that's something I'm just going to hold off on. But there are a lot of docks out there, and most of them have very good reviews. So it's just a matter of maybe watching videos to get an impression of which one people like the most or something, or which one would fit my needs the most. But here's something I've been holding off on doing for quite some time, but let's open this up. There we go. I know a lot of people like get a different case as well. I need to cut this in order to, yeah, it's to prevent the zipper from opening. So where are my scissors at here? There we go. All right. And, oh, opened it upside down. But here we are. Yeah, this thing is massive, but you know what? I immediately am fine. I didn't think there'd be an issue. Just kind of unusual to me, the button placements, but they're perfectly fine. Yeah, and this thing's not as heavy as I thought it would be. The box itself is kind of heavy, but I guess that's owing to the power supply. So I wonder if this thing has a charge in it, and if it does, we'll turn it on. Oh, yeah, we do have the orange switch. I wasn't sure if the orange power switch was exclusive to the limited edition, or there we go. Okay, the button. Okay, the light turned on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I guess the OLED screen. If there wasn't an OLED version of the Steam Deck, I don't know if I would have bought it. I was like, yeah, I gotta have the OLED version, and that's owing to when I had the original Vita. I still have it, but I loved the screen on the Vita so much, and it was very disappointing when they came out with a version 2 of the Vita, and it didn't have the OLED screen, because I thought that was one of the biggest selling points of the Vita. And I know there's an OLED version of the Switch, but I never got too into the Switch to actually. Ooh, I felt the haptics on the trackpad. That was kind of cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to go through this intro because look, it's got decent battery in there even. Because like I said, one of the first things I'm going to do is swap out the SSD. So, and that'll mean I'll have to reinstall the OS anyway again. And again, I'm not going to do any. Okay, yeah, these are nice and clicky. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. You could even use this. I could tap on it. And every time I tap on it, I do feel that is really cool. Yeah, I'm very much learning how to use this thing, and I guess that's why you're not going to see me learning this thing in this whole video. And again, the very first thing I want to do, swap out the SSD. So yeah, I am a bit wanting to make this portion of the video. I'm immediately going to start putting a screen protector on this and stuff. Step 1, put a screen protector on it. Step 2, swap out the SSD. And then step 3 is get this thing all set up with the skin on it. And then see if I need to buy any more accessories for this thing. Anyway, yeah, I guess just everybody really loving this thing has kind of wanted me to try it out for myself. So, see you all next time.